Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is Dr. Baer Fuad, and the subject today is the concept of fighting in Islam. Fighting in Islam is only allowed in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and not for personal reasons. It is to defend ourselves and our country against aggression. وقاتلوا في سبيل الله الذين يقاتلونكم ولا تعتدوا إن الله لا يحب المعتدين. Fight in the way of Allah those who fight you, and do not transgress, for Allah loves not transgressors. The verse is in Surah Al-Baqarah, chapter 2 in the Quran. Also, fighting is allowed in order to ensure freedom for those who are oppressed. وقاتلوهم حتى لا تكون فتنة ويكون الدين لله فإن انتهوا فلا عدوان إلا على الظالمين. Fight them until there is no more persecution. If they cease, then there is no blame except on those who transgress and oppress people. Now, the Prophet ﷺ, when he sent his soldiers in fighting, he said, do not kill women or children, the elderly, on those in retreat, do not burn crops, and do not destroy building. He also advised them to treat the wounded, bury the dead, and treat the captives well. And the Quran confirms this. وَيُطْعِمُونَ الطَّعَامَ عَلَى حُبِّهِ مِسْكِينًا وَيَتِيمًا وَأَسِيرًا إِنَّمَا نُطْعِمُكُمْ لِوَجْهِ اللَّهِ لَا نُرِيدُ مِنْكُمْ جَزَاءً وَلَا شُكُورًا. Al-ayah of Surah Al-Insan. And they feed for the love of Allah the needy and the captive. So there are morals and ethics in fighting in Islam. To summarize, fighting is not done for personal reasons or to conquer lands or to force people to Islam against their will. It is only done to defend ourselves and our country against aggression and to ensure freedom for the oppressed. And we only fight those involved in the fighting, not innocent people, and treat the captives well, and treat the wounded and bury the dead. Now, all the Prophet's battles were defensive in nature. For example, the Battle of Badr. Muslims were chasing the caravan from Quraysh in order to get some of their losses when they forced out of Mecca and prevented from taking their possessions with them. They were not prepared to fight, but Quraysh sent a big army, well-equipped army, and they had to fight. And because of their strong faith, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did help them and gave them victory. In the Battle of Uhud, Quraysh sent a large army to revenge their loss at the Battle of Badr, and the Muslims had to fight to defend their city against aggression, and they lost because some of the fighters left their positions unguarded and went looking for the booty and spoils of war and exposed the back of the Muslims. In the Battle of Ahzab, the Confederates, Quraysh and their allies sent a large army that laid siege to Medina. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala helped the Muslims, and this army fled. The Battle of Qurayza, Bani Qurayza, the Jewish tribe in Medina, was because Bani Qurayza collaborated with the Quraysh and their allies and plotted against the Muslims, and they were living inside of Medina. So they had to be fought against and forced to leave Medina. And the Battle of Khaybar, because all the fighters, the Jewish fighters that fought the Muslims and left Medina, they were encamped in the fortifications of Khaybar, and they collaborated with the enemies of Islam. So the Muslims had to fight them and get rid of them and make sure that they leave this place. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave victory to the Muslims who fought in Khaybar. Also, the opening of Mecca was because the Muslims were prevented from performing Umrah, visiting the sacred mosque, and Quraysh fought against the Muslims in many battles and were determined to destroy the Muslim state in Medina. So the Muslims opened Mecca with no bloodshed and did not seek revenge. And the Prophet ﷺ said, "Go, you are free and no blame attached to you on this day," the same as Prophet Joseph said in the Quran in chapter 12, when he did not seek revenge from his brothers who threw him in the well and wanted to get rid of him. In the Battle of Hunayn, Muslims fought against those who collaborated with the tribe of Quraysh. And in the Battle of Tabuk, the Romans amassed a large army and they wanted to fight the Muslims, so the Muslims were defending themselves, and they fought in Syria and Iraq against the Roman Empire, and they won. And they fought the Persian Empire also because the Persians amassed a large army and fought the Muslims. So all the Prophets' battles were defensive in nature and not intended to conquer land or to force people against their will. Fighting in Islam ends in one of three ways: either through a truce, like the truce of Hudaybiyah, when Muslims agreed to the terms of the truce, although it was unfair to them, and either offers of peace are given, and the Muslims in the Quran are ordered to accept offers of peace. وَإِنْ جَنَحُوا لِلسِّلْمِ فَاجْنَحْ لَهَا وَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ. If they offer peace, then accept the terms of peace and put your trust in Allah. إِنَّهُ السَّمِيعُ الْعَلِيمُ. He is the one all hearing and all knowing. Now, the other important principle is that Islam did not spread through force or the force of the sword. Islam spread because the Roman Empire, the Persian Empire fought against the Muslims and lost. In India and Indonesia, Islam spread through the efforts of Muslim merchants who came to these lands, lived with the people, and helped them and cared for them. They saw their character and behavior, and they believed on conviction when they listened to the Quran that these people recited. And the Quran has an effect on those who listen to it with an open heart and mind. In Surah Al-Ma'idah, chapter 5 of the Quran, وَإِذَا سَمِعُوا مَا أُنزِلَ إِلَى الرَّسُولِ تَرَى أَعْيُنَهُمْ تَفِيضُ مِنَ الدَّمْعِ مِمَّا عَرَفُوا مِنَ الْحَقِّ When they listen to what has been sent down to the messenger, you see their eyes overflowing with tears because of what they realize of the truth. يقولون ربنا آمنا فاكتبنا مع الشاهدين. Our Lord, we believe, write us among the witnesses. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروه وادعوه إنه سميع قريب مجيب الدعاء.